Have you ever taken a look at the real snowflake close by? I know it doesn't happen often, but a few years ago I was outside, it was snowing sort of slowly, very big flakes, and I had some snowflakes fall on my coat. And it's amazing that they really are the kind what we see in pictures and also in crochet. Perfectly symmetrical and always have 6 points. Over the years I have published quite a few snowflake tutorials, and all of them have been very easy, only 1 or 2 rounds of crochet. And today we are making another one, but this one is a little bit more work, but still not in any way difficult. It has 4 rounds of crochet. And it's also symmetrical like any snowflake would be. So let's make this here one today. The yarn that I prefer for snowflakes is mercerized cotton, but you can use absolutely any yarn, and then you need a hook that goes with the yarn that you have. So this here that I'm going to use now is slightly heavier yarn, and I'm going to use this here hook that's 2.5 millimeter, or it also has 4 and either an O or a 0. But 2.5 millimeter goes with this here yarn, and these other 2 are lighter, more like actual crochet cotton, and I made this here snowflake that's a bit shiny using this here. Don't know if I can get the shine here, but it has metallic shine in it. It's much finer, and I'm using a metal hook, 1.5 millimeter for that. We start by chaining 6 around here, and then we do these here slightly star-like bits in the middle. In things like snowflakes, I don't tighten the slip knot. I just leave it loose like that, so I don't get that there knot into it, and that counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then I'm closing it into a ring. Then chaining 6 again. And then we make a small picot here by going into the 3rd stitch from the hook and doing a slip stitch there. Then chain 2 and leaving the yarn tail inside the stitches, a half double crochet into the ring. And what I'm doing now is what we'll repeat this round. First you chain 5, again a picot, go by going into the 3rd stitch from the hook, slip stitch, then you chain 2 and a half double crochet into the ring. So it creates a shape like that there, and you will probably need to move the half double crochet so you fit them all there at the moment. So now we have 2 and we will need 6, but do 3 more and then we'll come back because the last one is different. Now I have 5 points, and the reason the last one is different is that we will need to finish the round in the middle of the point. So chain 3 and then a double crochet into the first one of these. I'll just put it into the chain loop instead of into a stitch like that there, and then we'll do something like a picot but a bit differently. So chain 1 and then make a single crochet into that by putting the yarn hook through both of those loops and then a single crochet. So that looks similar to the picots. And then the next round, and that round is the easiest. We are simply jumping from one tip to the next using 6 chains. So you chain 6 and jump to the next tip of that there and a slip stitch into that. So that every time, 6 and then there and so on. I have that there now, and then the 3rd round, and it's just doing this here bit. into each of them. That has a picot there, there, there. And on this round also I just sew it once, and then you do it exactly the same on the entire round, so that we have 6. First chain 4, and then a double crochet into that there chain loop. I'll just put the hook round it, not into any of the stitches. Double crochet, and then a picot with 3 chains, and I'll attach it to the base of it here with a slip stitch. And then chain 4 and a slip stitch into this here where we started that, so at the top of that there tip. So it looks like that there, and then do that 5 more times. Here's that. And then the last round has 2 things, one after another in the repeat. So first this here, and then a smaller thing like that there. So first making this and then that, and both of these repeat altogether 6 times. First chain 12. And then 2 double crochets together into the 3rd stitch from the hook. So a double crochet, starting a double crochet there, and leave it like that without finishing, and then another one in the same stitch. And now that you have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through all of them. Then we chain 4, and we do a picot here, but slightly differently from the other picots, again into the 3rd stitch from the hook, but now instead of a slip stitch, to have a slightly bigger picot, we're doing a single crochet there, and then again chain 4, and now 2 double crochets into the 3rd stitch from the hook, so now we have 3 like that, and then chain 1, and now we attach it under where we started these here things, not in the first one under it, but the second one. Slip stitch there, and then chain 7, and jump across that the whole part, and go into where the other things have been attached, and a slip stitch there. So that's half of 1 repeat, and then we need that smaller thing, and for that we first chain 4, and now we are doing smaller picots by going into the 2nd stitch from the hook and a slip stitch there, and then chain 3, same again, small picot into the 2nd stitch from the hook, and 1 more time, chain 3, and a slip stitch into the 2nd stitch, then chain 1, and then we'll have 2 slip stitches here at the bottom, first here, and then in the same place as the previous thing that came down this here chain. So now we have those 2 done like that, and then you do both of these 5 more times, and then it will be done. Here now it's finished, and I have already finished off the yarn end, and then it's wet now, and next I'm going to shape it. You may want to pin it so it stays well until it's dry, depending also what you are going to do with it now, if you harden it or not, and what material it is. You could carefully iron it or iron it through something. I'm just leaving it to dry now. And you need to open up, pull at all the points and open everything up so that it's the shape it should be. And if you want to harden, there are a few possibilities. If you want to harden, there are several ways you can do it. What I've been using here now is a colorless clear nail varnish, nail polish. Then other very good way is to use white glue. This is the most common make here, but any white glue, you mix it with warm water, probably a little bit more glue than water. And then this is sugar. That's something that I used for years and years, and I still do often enough. You heat water until nearly boiling, and then you put half sugar and water, or a bit more sugar. And then you could try commercial starches. I don't use them, I don't have it, but you could try how well those work. When I was designing this here snowflake, I was of course aware that there are thousands of different kinds of crochet snowflakes around, patterns and tutorials and charts. And it's very hard to come up with something that wouldn't already have been done. I have not seen one like this, but who knows, there may be one. The way I work with something like this, I definitely do look at what there is already, and I get ideas from different snowflakes by looking at what kind of points. I could maybe look at 10 or 15 different kinds of points and see if there's maybe one of them that I want to do, or 2 or 3 that I want to sort of combine. And then also, if I can't think of any myself about the middle, I could look at many and then make my own version of it. What makes it easy for me is that as a child I learned to crochet just from pictures, without any written instructions or charts. So in most cases, when I look at a crocheted item, I can tell how it's been made without any pattern. And that's a skill that really helps when you're making something like that there. But hope you'll crochet this one and maybe some of the other ones as well. See my playlist for snowflake tutorials.